Yeah, it's just a snapshot since the Grand Prix, but it's phenomenal. And Quantum of Solace, the car with the door off, is quite, that's what sticks out when you're a kid, isn't it?
It is.
My youngster was quite impressed that that was there.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's a London Film Museum at Covent Garden. It's got sort of big underground area where you can go and sort of see all that. And it's cool because they've got all the footage that relates to that car. But my favourite still is, I'll get this wrong because I'll be sharp on this, but I think it's the Renault 11, 14. The one from Views Will Kill.
Yes, and it's the same car that Abby Eaton guy we put in the virtual studio for Abby Eaton. She drove it in the Grand Tour.
Okay.
Same type of car. I think it was the 11. You're right.
Well, if it wasn't for Top Gear, I would never have driven half a car and be able to sort of. It is one of the most fun things you can.
So
do.
you drove the car that was in half that goes down the hill.
Not the Bond.
You made a model of.
But we drove them for one of the live shows, and actually, once you realise, basically they've got no brakes. Obviously, if you turn the wheel, the thing just spins. The only way to drive it is with your foot buried to the floor on the accelerator as all times. It's like driving a hovercraft. You just keep pointing it where you want to go with your foot to the floor, and it just drags you around. It's a perpetual motion.
You find with driving, like stunt driving, obviously, it's completely different to race car driving. So, how do you have to adapt, or do you find it quite easy to do? It's a very different kind of style, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know you've got great car control and stuff, but it must have been. You just kind of learned it really well.
Well, luckily, when I first started racing, I did a skid control course of the car variety, obviously, and that was quite useful because of the way I went at it like a bull in the china shop. I was spinning all the time, so I was able to catch the spin. So that was always interesting because if you get it started, you're usually slow in the stopwatch. So they're two totally removed things. You get people who, if you blur the definition, you can never do a fast time again. So I was keen not to do that, but through Top Gear, we started doing these, sliding around the drifting and all that. I've always found them chalk and cheese. It's really different skills. So through the Top Gear days, kind of learned a bit of that, sort of sliding around, making things look dirty and everything. But in terms of damage, I remember it was a really windy day at Dunsville, a Ferrari there, and it was not pressure, but I always wanted to get the absolute best time, and we felt the car, because the conditions wasn't getting as good a time for water. Anyway, I shaved the tyre wheel, and my head in my hands, it's a brand new Ferrari, it's a 430, absolutely immaculate. And the Ferrari guys are just amazing, and they're like, Steve, don't worry, many cars, Fernando, we crashed many cars, there's no problem. So they were brilliant about it, but not everybody was. And turfing the Koenigsegg off and thought, that's P45. Don't let go, don't get it too long. But again, there were extenuating circumstances with that, and everybody was really cool about it. But that's two mistakes, if you like, in 8 years. And same with racing, if you shove cars, they don't call you back. The stunt side, it's very focused, but of course the thumping the cars around at times is called for. But usually it's always signposted. You're going to do this, you're going to hit that mark. We do tons of rehearsals. So I suppose the difference is, racing we do testing, but we'll mark out an area on an airfield. We're using tape and cones and to recreate the streets.
Yeah.
So the mess that you see on screen is very deliberate. Obviously, when things start knocking into each other, but things mix up a little bit. But people are so on their game; that anticipation is there, so that you can figure out where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. So it's
I know you're hopping in and out of the car with the stars. So Daniel Craig, for example, was as soon as you finished with the orbit, was he hopping in after you? So there you go, Daniel, your turn.
So he does a lot of the driving, and so we did a lot of training with him, and so that's really cool. That's a lightning part of the job.
What's he like?
He loves it. He's great fun, and he loves the motors. So I think that really comes across, that passion.
Yeah.
I think you're definitely going to see. You see it on screen because he gets very heavily involved with the stunt team, so the fight stuff, wire work, moving around. It's very physical. So they've got to be, it's got to be in peak condition.
So do they dress you up to look like him? Do you get like a mask that vaguely from a distance looks like Daniel Craig, or they probably about? So in my head, that's how a stunt double works with the cars.
I've done masks before, but for like, I worked on Han Solo. I made a full-on latex mask, so I was doubling the actor there, and those are really hard because you can't. The mask sits in front of your eyes, and you lose your peripheral vision basically. It's really strange sensation, and you sweat like Billy, and you have to stick something up inside the mask so you can actually breathe because it just sticks to your face. We're all wearing masks now for payment, but the latex is like absolutely glues to your face to find out where to get wet weather.
Yeah.
One of the things they can do these days, though, is they put dots on your face, and the camera can identify that to do face replacement. So it's a clever way. Whereas in the 80s, you'd watch a movie and you'd see a blonde girl driving a Ferrari, and then you'd see a bloke in a wig 2 seconds later who looked nothing like her. It's like weighed 300 pounds, and that was the 80s. You could do what you liked.
That was Guy in a ginger wig, wasn't it?
Guy, it was Guy. Yeah.
What's Nick Cage like? He did National Treasure. Did you meet him?
Yeah, he was pretty cool. He was very quiet.
Massive petrol head, isn't he?
Sorry?
Massive petrol head by all accounts.
Is he?
Lamborghini Miura and all sorts.
We didn't chat much, bless him. I mean, I was on the roof of the car in a pod, and he was underneath. And so I think this was a bit nerve-wracking for him. So he was downstairs and he had a steering wheel, but it wasn't connected. He had no pedals, no control over the speed or when the car stopped. And so the pod car, so the stunt driver's on the roof, and then you insert the actor into the action, and now cameras all over the place. So he was probably running through his lines and thinking, well, I did just think I was in the same car as him, but I wore a helmet. I think the penny dropped things now. We're sharing the same car. He gets a helmet, I don't. I think he found a little bit disconcerting. So
I saw the clip you put before the film of the M66 when they were going around on the banking. I think, were you driving the car where it was kind of, it's like a car stuck to the side of it, like a, I would say you bolted to it.
Yeah, no, so I didn't drive, so that, I can't remember what they called that, but that was like they called it a go-pod or a go-car, but very weird. So that one was taking it to another extreme, basically, a much bigger version, and I didn't drive that one, but I was driving the, Christian Bale was playing Ken Miles, who famously nearly won the one when they did that first, the finish of the line with 3 cars crossing him, and he was a beat behind. So I was playing the character of Denny Hume, who was Ken Miles' teammate. So I was sharing the car with Christian. So that was quite cool. So I was in the Golf liveried Ford, and occasionally jumping out doing basically because I'm still part of the stunt team, so you get in this, drive that. And it was really, really interesting because the cars looked perfect. They looked immaculate, exactly like the originals from the outside. Yeah. And on the inside, you really had to keep reminding yourself, like, this is not a real racing car. It's going to go really, they were really fast. The V8 engines were rattling around 170 miles an hour. But definitely didn't want to hit the tree. It's a fast prop. That's what we're built to do.
What's Christine like then? He's again another petrol head. When you read about him, he's got a big collection of cars. Is he cool?
Yeah, he was brilliant. Super focused, super serious. I sort of observed him before I worked on Batman, Dark Knight Rises. So I was driving his dream job, driving the Batman. And
did you drive? Were you working with him on Batman as well?
So working with him, I mean, I was shooting at him from the tank.
So you actually drove the Batman? I did the prep for this. I did my homework, but I didn't realise you drove both.
I drove one of them. So George Cottle was the original stunt driver in Batman Begins.
Yeah.
That was the black Batman.
The Tom Black.
Then it's the Tom Black. Then went into Dark Knight. And Dark Knight Rises, playing the bad guy and stolen Batman's kit. 3 of them. So I had one with the rocket launchers, which is awesome. So I was shooting at Batman in the back wing.
Yeah.
Very naughty. They were a lot of fun.
Aren't they? Are they diesel, the tumblers?
No, it's got a Chevy 5.4 V8, loads of power, and when you didn't have the guns on it, you could drift them really well. But when you put the gun on it, it made the tyres grip. And then you couldn't slide it, which is quite shallow. But they were a lot of fun, and so well. They were very well engineered. A guy called Andy Smith, and built them from scratch from drawing on a piece of paper by Chris Nolan, the director, and all those inverted wheels and all that stuff. But he built it to do stunts. So the one that's worth watching, which George did, I think I'll get this wrong, Dark Knight. Tumblr there's actually both the first films, it does this huge jump, it goes right across the roofs, like a full jump, all real, and they managed to cushion the suspension slightly and do some really clever stuff, so they didn't keep, so otherwise it would bounce forever, they had to have it come down and carry on flat, and they built these little hydraulic absorption racks into the floor of the car. That's special effects. Something to drive like that, and another thing's completely a complete concept like time. So
Any big shots then, or is it pretty safe, or is it quite risky?
So, I mean, you look at something and blimey, that's pretty full on, and then you spend the rest of the time rehearsing to de-risk whatever that is, and you might look at it on paper, there's people there, so how can we possibly do that? Yeah. Then when you watch how the stunt people move, and they rehearse how they're going to move, and so you might drive through, making this up, but drive through a packed piazza or something, but you build the speeds up and everybody finds their marks. You don't get people accidentally running into each other because they find their lanes and it's all very focused, so the whole point of these rehearsals is pretty amazing. So you build things up block by block by block. So at the end, if you haven't seen the beginning part, you just watch the end and you think, blimey, this thing's really crazy, and that's what you see on screen. And when you see this sort of the brick by brick process and how it breaks down, and there's a method to it, then that's the way it works.
When you're a racing driver, and equally when you were the Stig, if you've got enough money, if you've got enough talent, you can drive pretty much any race car in the world. When you're Stig, you drive supercars, you've got enough money, you can buy a Koenigsegg if you want. But nobody can go out and buy Tumblr or a James Bond Aston Martin or the toys on. And that's where I'm...
a Bond Aston Martin.
Can you?
So, well, I mean, I've just done this big research thing, so I've just written a book about Aston Martin, which has been amazing. So I've got right through the whole history of the company and what personalities. It's quite cool because they've kind of gone full circle now, and they're just re-releasing a Goldfinger spec DB5, so that you basically get full Bond specs, brand new car that was from the 1960s with machine guns coming out, headlights, smoke screen, all the stuff that Guy needs. You know,
Ejector seat?
Yeah, ejector seat. Be on bricks in about a week.
Put it, is that right?
You live in a posh part of Hull, Guy, not the case.
There you go. No ejector seats, sadly, but pretty much everything else. So
But has it got the button?